I think that we're live
Looks like it.
with a fruit fly already in my beer. Hello, everyone. My name is Joey. I'm with HBYOB. To my right is Chris Allen. How are you, Chris?
What's going on, man? Yeah, left. I don't know. Your right, my left. I have no idea.
I know. I think the camera's backwards. This is my left. I can't figure it out.
I don't know, man.
Doesn't matter.
No, I'm doing well. I'm really excited to get a chance to sit down and talk with you about the upcoming competition. Just the fact that we get a chance to get a lot of the homebrewers together once again, because I mean, I didn't go last year. I don't even know if they had it last year. So just the idea of all of us getting together and being able to talk about homebrewing and have copious samples in the process should be a good time.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, we wanted to get on live today, or you can watch it here in the future. Here we're talking about Beer and Sweat is a home brewing competition. Takes place, is it technically Ohio or Kentucky?
That's technically Kentucky. Yeah, but it's like the CVG Marriott.
Yeah, so that's where they're going to have it. That's where they've had it in years prior. They had to skip it last year. I think we all know why. But everything is up and rolling, I believe, August 28th. Did you get the
No, the 21st.
I thought 21st. It was the 21st.
Yeah.
Is it 21st? Oh, here we go. I'm already slacking.
Beer and Sweat 2021, Saturday, August 21st, 2021.
So, yeah, that's the reason why we're on today. We want to talk about the Beer and Sweat competition. Chris, usually when we have a podcast, you've got a medal in the background.
I know. I've switched up my office, so I'm not like super vain and have like the medals and shit like hanging like from behind me. But if you need, they're right actually. Well, I can grab them. they're not far. It's just I don't have them. So I got some hardware. Man. I think which one is it? Oh, here. Yeah, I think this one was from. What was it? So this one was from I think the 30th annual one. So this one was from 2018 when I placed first in that one. I think this one was from this one was from the last one. So it's so I got third place one for I forget which one I got this one for. But either way, we'll see if I can get some more hardware this year.
I've only got one medal from Beer and Sweat, so I'm sorry, Chris. I'm not to your level. No, I got a second place one. I don't know where it's at. Not really I've told everyone I'm not really a competition guy. I think if anyone has ever talked to me long enough, I'm not a competition guy. I'm not a trophy guy. I don't care. But that's why we go to Beer and Sweat. Or it's the best of both worlds. If you're not a competition person, fantastic. If you are a competition person, fantastic. So it's competitive. It's a keg only. So if you're not a kegger, unfortunately, this is not. It's the reason why it's the only competition I get into every year is because it's keg only. Yeah, but it's not a comp. If you can't keg, come into the store. HBYOB, we can hook you up so you can be a kegger. Not a problem. I also want to say if you want to enter in the competition, you want to bring me your registration form. In the description on the for the cast that I set up, there is a link so you can go to their website so you can register. So if you register from their website and bring that into the store, we will give you 10% off all your ingredients for the competition.
Oh, wow.
You do only have a month. So it's good if you're kegging beer. Right now is perfect time to be brewing. So it'll be, especially if you're doing like an IPA or something, it'll be good and fresh. Keg only. Last year they had a pretty good turnout. We'll be sponsoring. I don't think I've been busy today. I haven't got a chance to look at my email. You do have to register with a brew club. So I'm wearing one of my brew club shirts, the Butler County Brew Club here. If you're part of them, you can use them. There's also MASH that's close to us. They're out of Middletown. You've got Draft in Dayton. Based on where our store is, I would say that's going to be the closest people around us. If you don't, I emailed their competition director this morning and asked them if they could just put our store name if you don't have a brew club to be affiliated with. So if you don't have a brew club, just put HBYOB. I'll work out the details with the club director. We'll make it happen. So I haven't heard back yet. They were quick last time I talked to them. I just haven't heard back from them. So that's basically where we're at with that. It's going to be fun. I think we should all get together, brew a lot of beer, and be get over that competition.
Yeah, and then wind up at Waffle House like shortly there afterwards.
Waffle House. So that's me and Chris are rooming together. We did divide the amount, how much our room cost, so we could go 50-50. We won't comment on what the amount was. It's a little awkward. But like I said, it's a lot of fun. You get discounted rates on the room if you go to the link in the description. You do get discounted rates on the room. What was it? It was like for
like $120 or something like that.
120.
It wasn't too terribly expensive for one night. And like if I'm remembering correctly, I thought that even if you aren't going to enter a beer, so let's say like our good buddy Mark Pricer, who happens to be in the chat, if you just happen to be a fan of craft brew but you aren't a brewer, but you want to come down and just be a part of the atmosphere, sample some of the beers. I forget how much it costs, but I think you can just buy a 1-day membership to join the Bloatarians for the day, come in, and then you can just get access to all the beers that are going to be entered into the competition. I want to say it's like $15, $20, somewhere in that range. Right. Yeah, I think it's somewhere in that range, but I think if you show up around 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, they'll give you just register, you become a 1-day member. They'll give you a wristband and then one of the sample cups. And then after the conference room gets opened afterwards, you can just kind of mill about with everybody else. And if you see a beer or title of a beer that catches your eye, then you can just pull a sample and then just hang out with all the rest of us.
Yeah, for sure. I'm glad you mentioned that, Chris. If you're not currently homebrewing and you're interested, this would be a great place to go. That's the reason why I like this competition. It's the one I make sure that I have someone watch the store and I get to every year, that they have it. I believe this year is the 33rd annual comp, but there's hundreds of homebrewers there. We love to share our knowledge with each other. So if you're on the fence of being a home brewer, come there. You get to try a bunch of different samples, get to talk to a bunch of different home brewers, and kind of give you a good path, what direction to go with the hobby. We go there, set up, usually shortly thereafter, we'll go grab a bite to eat. And, while they judge the beers, and we come back and have a great old party. And then we do end up at the Waffle House. Hopefully we will keep that going.
It's a tradition at this point.
Yeah, we got to keep the Waffle House, that food that you can't eat on a normal day.
Yeah,
delicious on a 2 a.m. But it is a really good time. Like I said, I hope everybody can have the chance to make it out there. If not, like I said, hopefully there'll be one again next year, most likely. And like I said, it's a good time. Bring me in your registration form for your beers. You can get your ingredients for 10% off. And be a good time.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it. You made a good point though about the affiliation thing. I forgot about that, to be quite honest, because I'm not as a part of like any of the brew club scenes as I was like a couple of years ago. Just like gotten way too busy. So being able to sign up and like just put down each brew will make things much easier for me. But yeah. The big thing, though, is just that general atmosphere that you just get to be a part of. Like after all the judging and the awards and all that stuff is done, it's almost like going to a regular beer fest. Like I just there was a beer fest down in Cincinnati this past weekend that my wife and I just went to, and it was great. I mean, some of the local breweries from Cincinnati, like, Streetside, Rheingeist, and all the rest of them were there. Some from Dayton as well, like Warp Wing and all the rest of those, they were there. But it's just being able to, I don't know. And after everything that's happened over the past year, seeing a whole bunch of people get together and enjoy craft brew, it's a nice sight, to be quite honest. So doing something like this, especially with other folks that are interested in the hobby, and also being able to open it up to just the general public as well. I really am looking forward to it, regardless of if I get a medal or I wind up like scoring like a 12 like on my score sheets. I'm just there to be able to hang out with everybody.
Well, that's why I was kind of hoping. Like I said, I'm not a competition person, but I'm super competitive. I don't know how that makes any sense whatsoever. I hate to lose, but yet I'm not a trophy person at all. Like just Just tell me I'm the best. I don't need to see something to just to know.
Yeah, we'll just be kicking at the Waffle House complaining about the judges like the whole night, like we did last time.
Yeah, and we have had discussions in the past. If you guys get a chance, there's a couple podcasts we talked in the past on basically how they score it. We have a homebrew competition where actually, I don't know if we even had a cast after that. The beer competition we had in the store had over 210 entries by the time we counted them all up. I mean, just a fantastic turnout.
Yeah, that's
we
amazing.
have another really big one in the works, so it's going to be something pretty exciting. Can't release any details as of now, but we do have some pretty cool stuff going on our next competition. Like I said, still stay posted. We'll let you know on that. But like I said, this one I have no affiliation with. I mean, other than I'm a sponsor, and so I mean, you get that, and we donate a couple things. But other than that, like I said, it's all. But we do our scoring BJCP style. That's what they do. I took and failed my first go round at the BJCP certification test. I'm not proud of that, but I'm just telling the truth. I will get back to it. Someone from one of the local breweries told me he'd help me study up, so we get that under my belt.
There you go.
But yeah, I mean, like I said, it's just a blast. Like I said, if you're into competitions, it's BJCP certified, so you're going to get an honest, really good score, or depending on your beer, it's a fair competition. There's no favoritism. If you don't care about competition, it is a blast of a fun time. So, I mean, I can't express that enough. Like I said, if there's a competition, I make sure I get to. I think you, Chris, you've taken my beers like the past 10 competitions I've been in. Never got score sheets. Don't care to get score sheets. So, like I said, you've done but this one is the one like I make sure I get to. It's a lot of fun.
And I would say that if you're really not a competition person, like I 100% get that. But let's say if you are a home brewer that you've been maybe doing it for a few years and you just want feedback, right? Like you would just like an honest shot at like to be able to submit your beer to somebody that is BJCP certified, and you just want to get some notes on how you can improve your process and if everything stacks up with, like, from a technical standpoint, how your beer like racks and stacks with everything else. So if that's something that you're looking for, then I think this type of event is perfect for you, where there really isn't like this massive pressure for you to really do it. It's not like you're going to, the one that's up at the Columbus, the Ohio State Fair that happens like every year, where it's like where it's like $100 or something like, or it's like fairly expensive, I thought, in order to like enter your beers or something along those lines. But it's like that one where it's like much bigger stage, much bigger stakes, and then just feels like you really need to show out in order to put your beer into a competition like that. This one definitely doesn't feel that way, but you still get that honest feedback. You still get an understanding of where you're at as a brewer. And then with so many folks that are there, I mean, we're talking decades of experience, decades of people doing it. So even if you don't score well, any of the folks that are there would be more than happy to take the time to talk with you about what you're doing, what you might have done wrong, how you can tweak your process. I mean, literally anything. And you can wind up improving if you do feel that that's something that at least you want to try and figure out. That's something, a path you want to go down in the near future.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I remember the first year I did it, I think I got lucky. I scored really, really well.
Yeah, you got like a 36 or something like that, didn't
37 and a half, actually.
Killed it, man.
I mean, I don't remember, but if I do remember that. And then the second year, I scored terrible. I think I had one like the 20s. And then the third year, I think when I got second, or I'm not, like I said, I'm acting like I don't know, but I do know. I got second place, but it was a pale ale. I was trying to think of the beer. I did a Galaxy Pale Ale. It was, I brought 3 beers there. It was my least favorite beer of the 3 because I just whipped the recipe straight out my ass. And it's got second place, a stout I've been working on forever, scored terribly because I had in the wrong category. And then any IPA, it had hot bitterness to it. You know, who would think
an
IPA had an any IPA with a little bit of hot bitterness, but didn't have 50 pounds of hops in there. Scored not too well, right? But like I said, it's great. You get feedback. You see what judges like to see, what they want to taste. Everyone there super chill, super cool. Like, I mean, it's just a good time. And like I said, if you want to go there, let me know ahead of time. If you register, we share CO2. Like, the store, since we go there, we'll share CO2 cylinders, so you don't have to worry about lugging your CO2 tanks. Just let me know ahead of time. We
Yeah, I
can
was gonna
help
ask
you
you
out.
about that. Yeah.
Yeah, the only downfall is you're subject to my pressure, whatever it's set at. And we usually set it pretty low because we use like picnic style taps there, or Cobra taps.
Mhm.
So we usually set the pressure pretty low, because when you have those Cobra style taps, they just want to foam like crazy. So we
Right.
keep the pressure pretty low on it, and we'll purge it here and there. That way we don't get a bunch of foam coming out the lines. But if you want to share CO2 cylinders with us, like I said, we can accommodate you however you like. We just want you to go now that things are completely opening back up. We just want to go have a good time like we used to. That's the reason why I'm going to probably push this here as much as I can, just because it's such a good time. Good people get together, good times. There's usually a band there. If you're remember the first year we went there, we ate for free. That was
Oh
pretty.
yeah, yeah.
So
I
if
don't
you're
think we weren't supposed to do that. I didn't think.
no, not at all. So if you volunteer, they cater a bunch of food for all the volunteers. Me and Chris, we already had a bunch of beer. I think at like Mad Tree or something.
We didn't even
We just
know.
walked in, got a plate, was like, "Let's go."
Yeah, like, oh sweet, we get food too. Man, I'm coming every year for this.
We had no clue why everyone was looking at us like, "What the hell are they doing?"
Right.
I think we learned that after the first year that food was for the people who were volunteers. But I mean, hey, it was good food.
Oh well, I mean, yeah, it worked out. But no, but the other point that you brought up, I think, is a good one. That for a lot of folks, it depends on where you're at in the spectrum of being a home brewer. Like there are some folks that are within their maybe like first few years, and they're really not getting into the experimentation portion of their homebrewing hobby, right? They're really just taking whatever the directions are, whatever the recipe list, and then just following that to a T, which is absolutely fine. Other folks that have really kind of branched off and really found like what their favorite style is, what their favorite like flavors are, and they've tried to put together these recipes. The big thing, and I think you mentioned it earlier, is whichever beer that you want to make sure that it actually aligns with the style that you're going to enter it for, because that is one thing that those judges will be harping on, and they won't know. I mean, if you put this, let's say if you make like any IPA, but you put it into just the umbrella IPA category, I mean, they will be judging it like it's supposed to be an IPA with all the technical all the technical aromas, flavors, and all that go to an IPA. So you really do need to do at least like a quick background research about the style that your beer best fits into, and then match that with the BJCP judging style that they're going to be looking for. Or else you might wind up getting just feedback that could be almost a complete 180 off of what you're looking for, because you just might happen to have mistakenly put it in the wrong category. That's why I think for the first year when I made, let's see, I think the milkshake IPA that I did like 3 years ago that wound up winning, back then that didn't even have a category. I just dumped it into fruit beer, and like I think it was like under experimental, and I put it into fruit beer, and then that's why mine won. But now, since it has its own style, I've had to actually like shift it over to a new one, so I'll be judged with some other, like, I forget what it's under now, like specialty IPA, something like that, if I'm not mistaken. But it's just understanding that portion of it before you enter into the competition.
Yeah, definitely know your style guidelines. And, you know, I'm probably the worst person. Chris is better to talk to about this than me. When it comes to style guidelines, I joke all the time. That's why I became a home brewer. Like, I make the style guidelines. I say that, you know, in a non-condescending way. But what I mean by that is, like, you wouldn't have, like, peanut butter porters, black IPAs, hazy IPAs, you know, the list goes, you know, these Kivikis that have become so popular and doing these like lager style beers, or using, you know, 3470 at room temperature. I mean, there's so many practices we do at home as home brewers. I always feel like, to me, if I wanted to follow style guidelines, I would have opened a brewery. But because I like the art of it, or not even art, but science / art / just freedom of brewing, I don't have to follow style guidelines. So for me, like when people come over and they'll try my beers at my house, or they'll try beers that I brew, like it's porter-ish, you know what I mean? It's IPA-ish, because I don't follow style guidelines. I'm always trying different things. The caveat to that is, being that it's BJCP certified, they want you to go inside that box. I mean, they do, and I'm not going to deny. And that's why I joke, I score real shitty there a lot of times, because the stout that I'm so proud of to this day, I think it's like the great stout. but it's got coffee in it. It's got chocolate in it. It's not a stout. It's
Yeah.
a vegetable beer. And I'm like, vegetable beer? What the
Yeah.
hell is that? Or jalapeno IPA. The list goes on and on.
My 22.6. Yes, sir.
Yeah, you got to know your style guidelines, because a fantastic beer that would score properly as a vegetable beer, even though it's a stout that's got coffee and chocolate in it, it's gonna score terribly in the stout category, because it's not a stout. I mean, it has those different ingredients and that makes it a vegetable beer. So, like I said, I'm probably not a great person, but if you want to come to me and say, hey, I've got this beer, I really like it. I like it a lot, whether it's got jalapenos or chocolate or whatever you want to do to it. Back to the brew clubs. There's a lot of brew clubs. That's the ones that really put me on the rails of like, no, you should enter into this category.
Yeah.
So like I said, if you don't have a brew club, come to me. We'll hook you up with like a good brew club. If not, like I said, put HBYOB. I'll talk to the club director. I'm sure they want entries. Like I said, they're trying to fire back up from last year, so we'll make it right. Unfortunately, I haven't heard back from them quite yet, and I waited too long to reach out to them, but we'll make it right. We'll get you in the right category. But like I said, I'm probably not the greatest person ever, because being a home brew store person, I'm always trying different stuff, and so I don't fit in the box too much, because I'm always trying different yeasts and different styles and different practices and different things. I'm always doing wacky things. And so for me, I'm probably not a good competition guy to talk to, because I don't fit in the box. I don't claim to, I just don't. But there are plenty of brew clubs that like truly know the style guidelines better. And the BJCP is a free app, I believe you can download. Yep. I have an iPhone. I've had no problem downloading it on there. So you can follow the style guidelines and make sure your beer's fitting in there. Yeah. Beersmith, you talked to me earlier, Chris, this week about scaling a recipe, but Beersmith will help you with style guidelines. The Grainfather app will get you in style guidelines. There's plenty of apps out there that'll help you follow and get inside the box of style guidelines. But for sure, if you go there and it's your first time and you're wet behind the ears with the brew competition and you score bad, don't worry about it. Honestly, don't worry about it. I've scored terribly in competitions. It's about having a good time. I think I got an 18 once. Remember that beer you sent me?
Oh, it
was undercarbonated because I filled it from a keg, and they dinged me because it was filled too full. And I was like, it's a great Waffle House story where we all complain about, oh, it's bullshit.
Not those judges, man, they don't know what they're talking about. Yeah,
they drank too much beer when they had mine, obviously.
yeah.
But it makes for a good story. You learn from it. But my point is, like, it's a lot of fun. That's the reason why I want to get everyone together. I want to go. I want to see y'all. I want to be able to have fun again brewing. I haven't brewed as much this year as I would like to have. So I'm already like, I haven't entered in any of my beers yet because I don't have any ready. I've got 3 kegs over here that are all ready to kick. So I got to brew up a storm for the competition. So
you just saw me yesterday, so you know what I'm like about to do, because I'm in a similar situation. I just have the 1 keg in the kegerator that's filled. Everything else has been kicked. So it's like, it just comes at a perfect time where I knew I wanted to make 2 recipes like for the competition. Hey, it just lines up perfectly. So now I've got 2 empty kegs. And I mean, if push comes to shove, I might be hitting you up to see, like, how much does it cost for me to get a keg off of you shortly before we head down to Kentucky.
Well, we've got 2.5 gallon kegs, because I believe that is like the minimum size of the entry.
Yeah.
So if you just want to like keg half of it and throw the other, 2.5 gallons in your fridge, you want to take it down there. Honestly, if it's hooked up to gas, you'll be fine transporting it to and from. Oh, yeah. If you win, you will come home with an empty keg. If you do, or if your beer style wins that category, you will come home with an empty keg. If your beer style does not win that category, most of the time I end up at home with
like
plenty of beer on ice,
man. Like, this sucks.
But like I said, I can't strive it enough. Come into the store, register your beers, register them now. Like I said, we'll give you 10% off on your ingredients so we can brew them up. We don't have plenty of time to brew them up, but if we get brewing now, we will 10% off. If you need CO2 when you go down there, let us know ahead of time so we can coordinate with their directors to get that going on. so we can share CO2 cylinders. Same thing. We usually grab a bite to eat while they're judging. You're more welcome to hang out with me and Chris.
Come on, man.
And then same thing. We Uber to the Waffle House, but we can all crash the Waffle House at the same time. It'll be a good time. Like I said, I miss y'all. It's time to get back together and brew some beer and have some fun.
Somebody tell us where we're supposed to go. Like once we get down there, because I think both times we've gone to either, what was it, Mad Tree or Rheingeist, I think were the two ones that we've gone to. But now, from what I understand, the beer scene down in Cincinnati is so much heavier now. I mean, Street Side is there. I forget. I know Listerman's now. I think they have like a whole like dining area, or like they serve beer at their spot too now. So there are a number of other breweries down in the Cincinnati area. So I mean, definitely, if you're dropping off your registration form, tell Joey like where we need to go. Like what spot do we need to go hit up like while we're down there? Because we've got maybe 5-6 hours or something like that before we need to be back before the awards actually start. So if anybody can tell me like where the party's going to be at, or where we should be going to hang out and maybe grab a few samples or grab a few flights while we're down in the Cincinnati, Covington, Kentucky area, let us know and we'll go by.
Yeah, I'm getting a little too old for Rheingeist. I learned the hard way or easy way in the nighttime. But during the daytime, we went to another brewery, but they were like not open. They had like a soft pretzel and hanging.
Yeah,
I can't remember the name of it.
It'll come to me later.
Yeah, but we ended up going to Rheingeist. They had good cheeseburgers. I remember having that.
I remember. Yeah, the food was good.
We went to Mad Tree. We also is it Bricks? Not what is it? We went to another brewery. It's a cool little area. It's like Yellow Springs-ish type of area. But we went to their like sample tap room where they like try different things. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know the one that you're talking about.
It's the one that does like the
Urban Artifact. I think that was.
No,
I think that
it wasn't
was
Urban Artifact.
It wasn't them.
No, it was like the one that has like the key lime pie beer, and they have all kinds. But it was like Bricks. I want to say it was Bricks. I don't know. Now I've obviously been drinking, so I don't remember.
See, Cincinnati Brewery, Braxton's.
Braxton, yes.
There it was.
Bricks. Braxton. But we went to their original brewery where they like try different things out. It was like Braxton Labs. I think that's what they called it.
Yeah, I think they were making sours and like maybe something else over there too, I thought.
Yeah. But there's all kinds of things going on down there. Like I said, let us all know. We can help you out any way we can. Beer and Sweat, I've been reaching out to you. We've been working together, so let's just have a great old time. I mean, I don't know any other way to say it, but let's have fun.
Yeah, exactly. Like the moment I get done hooking up all of my stuff and making sure that the lines are good, CO2 pressure is good, and all that, it's time to go have fun. Like after that, it's a wrap for me. After that, like I'm gonna just let God take the wheel. After that, whatever. If I score another 20.6, so be it. But after that, I'm there to have some fun and wind up at the Waffle House by 2 a.m.
Smothered and covered. That'll be the next podcast. Smothered and covered.
And us just being mad about, our scores and whatnot. That's what it's going to be.
Well, like I said, I won't take too much of y'all time. Thank you so much, Chris, for helping me out tonight. I appreciate it. You're going to be hearing from us here soon as we get closer. Come into the store, get your ingredients, register for the competition. I will twist your arm personally if you ask me to. It's going to be a great time. Like I said, I miss doing these type of things. I don't do a whole lot of them because I'm tied up a lot of time, but this is one of the ones I always chisel out time for because it's a good time, good people. You get to meet so many homebrewers. So if you're an avid homebrewer already, I recommend doing it based on the turnout we had from our homebrew competition through the store. I know a lot of you guys are wanting to get out and enjoy and hear from homebrewing community. So let's blow it up for them. Let's show them a ton of respect. And like I said, they've been doing this for 33 years now. Well, technically 34 years now. And I haven't been I'm a little bit older than that, but not much older than that. So I mean, that's just amazing, the fact that they've had something going on that long. Right. Let's just show them so much love and get things going on. Thank you so much, Chris. My name is Joey. I'm with HBYOB. Chris, where can people contact you? Any last words?
You can contact me. Go contact Joey. I mean, he's got all the stuff. I mean, he's got all the supplies. He's got all the affiliations and whatnot. But if you do have any questions and you happen to be on Twitter, you can find me on Twitter at Chris Allen FFWX. Most of my stuff is for fantasy football, but this is also something I do on the side. Hence all the all the beer stuff you see behind me. But yeah, come find me if you have any questions.
Thank you so much, y'all. You'll be hearing back from us here soon. Good night.
Peace.